He's Arizona's funniest comedian. He's been on Comedy Central. He's a great friend of mine who just makes me laugh all the time. Let's hear it for Ty Rivera, everybody.
Give it up for the band, everybody. What's the drummer's name? Aaron. Aaron? Can you do rim shots, Aaron? All right. We're going to do something with that, okay? All right. Should I just point, or are you pretty good at just picking up the cue? Go ahead and point. Okay. What's up, guys? It is good to be here. I've been told that my style is a little too edgy for certain markets, so I'm going a different route. I want to become the world's first gay hack comic. I just want to be able to take old school jokes and update them with a gay twist. I want to be able to say stuff like, I just flew in from San Francisco and boy is my ass tired. I was in New York the other day, a man asked me how you get to the Queens. I said, you call them cross-dressers. I went to have sushi the other night. I ordered the Philadelphia roll. It turns out the Philadelphia roll is exactly the same as the salmon roll, except it has AIDS. Take my life partner, please. I'll be queer all week. Appreciate that. Give it up for Aaron, everybody. So yeah, being the world's first gay hack comic isn't the only thing I want to do. I am actually gay. I've been doing stand-up for a long time now. The rules have changed when it comes to being gay. Here's the thing I'll tell you guys. I miss the days when my being gay made people uncomfortable. Because now it's like being a ghost that doesn't scare people anymore. You're just like, boo! And they're like, I respect your rights! And like Tuesday was saying, people have gotten so politically correct lately. I've had people tell me, the other day I had a girl tell me that I should not use the word fag anymore. I had a girl tell me that I should not use the word fag anymore. Here's the way I feel about it. I take a dick in my ass, I'll call it whatever the fuck I want. It's not something we're gonna argue, not something we're gonna debate. My dues have been paid, my membership is current. I shouldn't even spread that though, because here's the thing. I hang out with a lot of straight guys, and one thing I hate is that if we ever get pulled over by the cops, they always assume that I'm just gonna hide the drugs. I'm like, you guys, that's my asshole, not a junk drawer. Which, you know, like I said, it's gotten so ridiculous. People, I've had straight friends, good straight friends, my entire adult life, which has been good for me in certain ways. When gay marriage started happening here in California, they were all calling me, congratulating me, which was technically in order because I was engaged. What my straight friends didn't know was I was only engaged because I thought gay marriage would never happen. Then it started happening, and I was like, I need a way out of this. And then audience members used to shout out, when are you getting married? And I was like, when I run out of states to move to where it's not legal. Then a couple of months ago, I'm watching the news, everybody on TV is like, love wins. I was like, this isn't good, you guys. I did used to think I wanted to be in a long-term relationship, and then I found a glory hole in the valley. It's become like my cheers. Well, except the everybody knows your name part, but. I don't know, people are way too sensitive. I can offend other gay people without even trying to. One night I was hanging outside of a club, a woman walks up to me and starts talking to me. Halfway through the conversation, she lets me know she's a lesbian. So I was like, okay, cool. She was like, did you know I was a lesbian as soon as you saw me? And I was like, no, actually, when I first saw you, I thought you were a man that really let himself go. My life is kind of weird. My career, it's all over the place. Like 2 weeks ago, I was performing on a friend's front porch. Yeah, and then a week before that, I was performing in Washington, D.C. for the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Yeah, which that was cool. But the thing was, the next night, because the show went really well, and I did ask them if there were any restrictions. They said, no, just do what you do. And I was like, are you sure? They said yes. I went for it. It was a great situation. Everything was really fun. But like the next night we had to go to this dinner, right? It was a gala. And so we went to this dinner, and Hillary Clinton was there to present an award, which that felt weird for me. I felt like I should be running on the treadmill because that's the only time I watch CNN. And then at the end of the dinner, Barack Obama shows up to give a speech, which I don't know what your guys' life is like, but when I'm having a chicken dinner and Barack Obama walks in the room, I feel like I'm being punked. You know, because they play the music and everything. It's like he comes in the room and it's like, dun, 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 dun. And I was like, are mattresses on sale, or what is happening right now? Yeah, I perform in all sorts of strange places. I got asked to perform at Marymount University. Yeah, for anyone that's not familiar, Catholic-run university in Virginia. You guys have had a sample of the kind of stuff I do. I don't know how I got booked there in the first place. Their official reason for wanting me was they were having diversity week, and I'll give it to you. If you're having diversity week and you hire me, you can check off a lot of boxes. The only thing I ask is that people pay attention to what it is I do before they book me. Don't book me, be excited about it. Then the day of the show, you start watching my YouTube, which is what must have happened, because the guy starts getting really nervous, and he keeps calling me over and over and over. Each call, he's putting more rules on me. On the last call, he says, I need you to make sure you don't talk about sex, and especially don't talk about safe sex. So when I got there, I let the audience know that I am gay, but I don't use condoms. Which was not the plan. I just got on stage and they were nervous and I was nervous and I thought this would loosen us up, and it really didn't. And I was nervous going into it because I was raised Catholic. For a long time I didn't go to church because I suffered from the famous Catholic guilt about my lifestyle. But at a point I began to wonder which part of my lifestyle it was the Catholic Church didn't agree with. I mean, is it the fact that I'm open about liking guys, or the fact that guys are over the age of 18, or the fact that I didn't wait to become a priest first? Sometimes other Catholics get mad at me for doing that joke, but I think it's okay for me to do any joke I want about the Catholic Church because I myself was touched by a Catholic priest. That is true. It didn't happen until I was 27. But it did happen. You say that and a certain amount of the audience looks at you like you're going to hell, but that's not fair. It's not my fault. It's not exactly like they go to the gay bar dressed as Catholic priests. It's only the next morning we're doing the walk of shame from a rectory. Some of you look very uncomfortable. So I won't tell you about the second time it happened to me. What I will do instead is tell you everything I do in my act comes from my actual life. I don't ever sit down in a room and think, what's the most offensive thing I can say to a room full of people? That's not the way I work. I take my regular life and I try to make that funny. So with stories like that, when people get uncomfortable, I do fully respect your right to get uncomfortable, but at the same time, I ask that the people that got uncomfortable help me figure out which part of that story I'm supposed to be ashamed of. Like, am I supposed to be ashamed of the fact that I have, in fact, fucked around with the Catholic priest? Am I supposed to be ashamed of the fact that I got paid for it? Am I supposed to be ashamed of the fact that I have a check to prove that? Am I supposed to be ashamed of the fact that the check is only for $50? Or am I supposed to be ashamed of the fact that the check bounced? Yeah, I did that story at a show not too long ago. A lady in the front row was like, you should go to confession. I was like, with my luck, there'd be a fucking glory hole in there. I don't know. This is pretty great, though. I don't mind being here at all. I don't, because there are certain things that do really bother me. There are certain places I get booked where I really just don't belong, and I know that. I perform in a lot of redneck rooms. That's where I usually am. I perform in some rooms that are so white and rednecky, sometimes my act doesn't even feel like an act. It feels like a really long suicide note. People ask me how that started, and what happened was when I first started doing comedy, gay shows were afraid to have me because they thought I would offend their audiences. Regular mainstream clubs were afraid to have me because they thought their audiences wouldn't be able to relate to me. And the redneck clubs were like, well, if he can survive it, we'll pay him at the end. So that's what I started doing, was redneck bars and redneck clubs. They were very nice to me from the beginning. Like, sometimes they want to have drinks with me after the show, which if I'm in a redneck bar and rednecks want to have drinks with me, I'll have a couple drinks with them at the venue. Yeah, but we're not moving to a second location. Oprah taught me. I think it's almost time for me to get out of here. Here's what I will tell you guys before I get out of here. Sometimes I'll really turn a room against me. And it's usually when I think that things are gonna go well, you know what I mean? When I think people are gonna just relate to me and it's gonna be fine. Like the first time I was ever asked to perform at a gay bar in San Francisco, I was so excited. I thought if there's any place that they'll get me, if there's any place I can be 100% me and just have them just get it, it's a gay bar in San Francisco. Nope, piss those fucking fags off right away. And the way I did it was because I let them know the reason dating wasn't working out for me at the time, and I'll let you guys know too. The reason dating wasn't working out for me at the time was because everybody that was attracted to me would turn out to be HIV positive. That is 100% true, and it's gotten to the point where if anybody in this room even finds me slightly attractive, you might have some bad news coming. So I said that at this gay bar in San Francisco, and they shut down. The audience completely shut down. They did not want to hear another word I had to say, and it bothered me. It bothered me because I couldn't help but think that if they were as particular about what goes in their assholes as they are about what goes in their ears, maybe AIDS wouldn't be such a fucking problem in that city. Thank you to the people who are still with me. Because this is the point in my set where some people will get very uncomfortable. I will be honest when I tell you I will not let that bother me. I won't let it bother me because I know for a fact that I'm more open-minded than the average person. See, I will actually date people that are HIV positive. Like one of the last situations I was in was probably a cross between a booty call and a bad relationship. And he'd come to my house and he'd complain about everything. He'd be like, your car's always a mess, your room's a mess, your trash is overflowing. And I always felt like, you have fucking AIDS. I mean, if I can overlook that, you can overlook an overflowing trash can. My overflowing trash can is never gonna kill both of us. You say stuff like this and people think you're being mean. I'm not being mean, I'm sharing honest thoughts I had when I was dating guys who were HIV positive. If I share another honest thought with you, I will tell you there were times I would romanticize the idea of catching the virus with one of these guys and then we could die together, sort of like an AIDS version of The Notebook. Did that joke in San Francisco too. And a guy yelled out too soon, and I was like, really, too soon? The Notebook came out a long time ago. Which it did get on my nerves that he said too soon, because how could it be too soon? I know fags have been living on a T-cell and a prayer forever now. I know gay men that have been living with AIDS for so long, their family members wish they would just fucking die already. Because it gets really bad at the end. You're sick, and then you're well, and then you're sick, and then you're well, and the rest of us want to go back to our lives, don't have time to play fucking Philadelphia with you every other week. When I talk about this on stage, people will ask me if I was being honest, and the truth is I'm being 100% honest. That's something people can't understand, gay or straight. They'll ask me, how can you date guys that are HIV positive? I have to be honest when I say that dating guys that are HIV positive is not the hard part. The hard part is being broken up with by guys that are HIV positive. And that's just because it does kind of hurt your self-esteem to know that this person would rather risk dying alone than just be with you. Thank you guys, I appreciate you.
Oh, Ty Rivera, everybody. I'm positive I love that man. Thank you all for coming out. Let's thank Lisa Loretta, Michael Schertzer, Paul Flores, Mickey Bennett, Misha Truves, Ty Rivera, Dronebox.com, and of course, District Verdant. Tune in Wednesdays at 5 o'clock on Dronebox.com for Wednesday night show. See Freak Show live with District Verdant December 5th at the CIA Club. That's the Center, or California Institute for Abnormal Arts Club in North Hollywood. Play us out, District Verdant. I love you guys.
Try again tomorrow. Expect these matters in a sterile state. Color